Welcome to another edition of ITV Sport Classics. This week we're going back to 1987 and to the climax of the international athletics season with the Grand Prix final in Brussels. The athletes were still on a high. The World Championships had finished just 5 days previously, and this time they were being paid. $750,000 in prize money was available, with $25,000 going to the overall men's and women's champions. Going into Brussels, 3 Americans were tied for first place in the men's Grand Prix. Hurdlers Tony Campbell and Greg Foster, and long jumper Larry Myrickx. The women's section was close too, with Jamaica's Merlene Ottey and Doina Melinti of Romania sharing the lead. Commentators at the Heysel Stadium are Peter Matthews and Alan Parry.
Phil Brown of Great Britain, another member of our successful relay squad, goes in lane 1 here. Derek Redmond in 2. Danny Everett of the United States on their gold medal winning relay team in Rome in 3. Gabriel Tiarco of the Ivory Coast in 4. Bert Cameron, the deposed world champion from Jamaica, in 5. Innocent Egbenike of Nigeria, world silver medalist, in lane 6. Darren Clark of Australia, who failed to make the final in Rome, though he just missed out on a medal in the 1984 Olympics. Such was the high standard in those World Championships. He runs in lane 7 with Mike Franks of the United States, who took a silver medal in the World Championships 4 years ago now in Helsinki, running in lane 8. Derek Redmond running here in lane 2. 44.50, his new United Kingdom record set in the Rome final. The men's 400 metres. Derek admitting before the race that he was finding it a little hard to find the motivation for this. It must be difficult for a lot of athletes who've been on a high for a week or more in Rome. The euphoria of those championships will be hard to repeat. The best start was made by the young American, the 20-year-old Danny Everett, in the white and orange vest, and he's already catching up to Gabriel Tiarco, all in yellow, the Ivory Coast athlete. Also going well is Mike Franks, the American, in lane 8, but it's those centre lanes now as they hit the home straight which will be holding the lead. Derek Redmond 2 or 3 metres down on the leader at the moment, and looking strong though, and he's going to really pressurise the American in the centre there. Everett's lead looks to be a convincing one, but look how fast Egbenike has finished, and it was a mighty close thing, but Everett got it from Egbenike with Franks in 3rd place, and we made Redmond 4th. 45.28 the winning time for Danny Everett, who looked fresher than the rest because of course he only ran in the relay in Rome.
Stefka Kostadinova, first attempt, 197, and the first woman to clear.
Certainly a couple of interesting personal duels going on in this race, with Gasser, that's the Swiss girl, all in black, and Van Hulst, the Dutch girl, in the orange vest, very close in the Grand Prix points table, and with Doina Melinti, the Romanian, in the yellow and blue, leading in the overall women's Grand Prix standings. As the pack closes in on Yvonne Murray, those 3 have got a real race over the final 400 metres.
And the 3rd lap was a lot slower, about a 70-second lap, and you can see that as Murray has indeed been eaten up by the chasing group.
Gasser of Switzerland goes to the head of the field. She's just 25. Had big wins in Oslo and Zurich in earlier Grand Prix meetings, but look at Melinti looking very fresh on her shoulder. The 30-year-old Olympic silver medalist and world indoor champion. Van Hulst of Holland coming up strongly into 3rd place. The Dutch record holder over 1,500 metres and 3,000 metres. And the big 3 leading as Gasser tries to kick away from the rest. But Melinti, I must say, has looked in very sharp shape right throughout this race and has been ideally placed. So the battle here will be in the home straight as Melinti begins to unwind her final kick. The experienced Romanian against the younger Swiss girl on the inside, and it's the Swiss girl who's holding on. Melinti is finding it very hard. Gasser still has the lead, just 20 metres to the line, and it's going to be Gasser who wins it from Melinti with Van Holst third. And that will mean that Gasser wins the prize for this particular event, but that Melinti stays well in touch with a chance of the £20,000 prize in the overall standings. What a test this will be for Calvin Smith against the man who has the world's fastest time this year, one of the greatest athletes in history, Carl Lewis, the Olympic champion at this distance, unbeaten over 200 metres this year. As fine a field as you could possibly imagine here, and it was Lewis, predictably, who made a good start, although coming through on his inside is Jefferson, all in grey and very well placed, and he's going to push Lewis all the way. James Butler going exceptionally well too on the inside, but Lewis now comes on strong in the final 30 metres and takes it from Jefferson, with James Butler in third place. Once again, the clock at the finish failed to register the correct time. They're having real problems here tonight with that, but no problems for the great man Carl Lewis, defeating those who he would have contested had he chosen this event too in Rome.
It was a beautifully controlled piece of sprinting by Lewis. He was happy enough to see Jefferson, who ran so wonderfully well at Crystal Palace and did 300 metres, do the work early on, sat on his shoulder. Britain's John Reedius rather on his own out of lane 8, of course, but look here now how Lewis relaxes and strides through to the finish, and rather disappointingly Calvin Smith some way back, and Calvin Smith was leading the Grand Prix point standings before then, and it had to be a bit close to see who won that, but wonderful run by Lewis. Jefferson in second place, and John Reedius, coming through now in 5th place, I think, probably.
Into the final lap now, this women's 3,000 metres. Can Lynch hold on? She has a couple of big kickers there behind her. Lynch, who's put so much heavy mileage in this year in their bid for 10,000 metre glory in Rome, and also has looked sharp over the lower distances. But Romanova, the 24-year-old Soviet girl who was 5th in that Rome final, looking very frisky indeed, right on Liz Lynch's shoulder. And also, right at the other end of the scale, the 37-year-old Romanian, the silver medalist in Rome, and the Olympic gold medalist, Maricica Puica. Remarkable career this lady has had, as Romanova takes over the lead into the final bend. And Puica coming up too to overtake Lynch, now paying the price for her early bid to string out the field behind her. But she looks safe for third place. Bondarenko back in 4th. Williams, in fact, has overtaken her for 4th, but Lynch should be okay for 3rd. Romanova under pressure here now from Puica, but the Soviet girl will hold on to win it. Romanova wins it then for the Soviet Union in 8:41. Puica 2nd, Lynch 3rd. Williams was 4th, Bondarenko 5th, and Sly 6th.
The double Olympic champion, Jackie Joyner, in the 4th round of the long jump. She leads with 6.96, but that's just 4 centimetres ahead of Chistyakova. It's the board, spot on. Yes, given a white flag there. And another good jump. It's a bit cold. It's certainly much colder than it was in Rome. There's a bit of a breeze blowing, and the performances are down from the levels we saw there. Joyner, who won the long jump by a huge margin, as she did the heptathlon, and now the joint world record holder at 7 metres 45, and outgoing, well, close to that 7-metre board. And indeed, just over 7:07 to stretch her lead.
From today, new Domestos Power Cleaner banishes even tough cooking stains. Now with more bleach, it has even more power to clean. And as it's from Domestos, it does even more. It kills germs as well. Good to know, isn't it?
It's the same story every winter. Same coughs and colds. Same icy winds, same delayed trains. But this is not the same. Soup creations from Bachelors. A new way of cooking pasta and beans and tomatoes and onions, all in a special rich stock. Create the same warm feeling with a very different soup. Soup creations from Bachelors.
If you want to talk man to man
Dial 0891 34 34 34
and make contact with men you'd like to know better.
The most important race of the night as far as Grand Prix prize money is concerned, the 110 metres hurdles. Greg Foster and Tony Campbell, two of the three joint leaders for the overall prize of around £20,000, meet head-to-head. The third, Larry Myrick's, is in action in the long jump. So really, probably a simple matter of winner takes all, unless Myrick's has an exceptional night. And also running in this field is Colin Jackson of Great Britain, who took that marvellous bronze medal in the World Championships behind John Ridgeon's silver in Rome. The full lineup then is Bakosh of Hungary in 1, Hoffa Czechoslovakia 2, McCoy, the Commonwealth champion, in 3 from Canada. Campbell of the United States, the world's leader along with Foster this year, but he wasn't in Rome. He's in 4. Greg Foster, who retained his world championship, in 5. Colin Jackson in 6. Kazanov of the Soviet Union 7. Rod Woodson of the United States in lane 8. Splendid start as usual made by McCoy in the long blue shorts. Foster all in blue. Between the two of them is Campbell all in black. Jackson trailing those at the moment. Foster's gone out in front from Campbell. It's a real battle between these two and a desperately close finish. Campbell thinks he's got it, and Foster's reaction seemed a little bit negative as well, so maybe Campbell is right, but I feel it will take a photo to really decide. It was very, very close on the line. Well, Campbell is dancing away with delight here, and well, he might, because as you can see, he was some way down on the men either side of him. McCoy in the white top and blue shorts made the best start. Greg Foster all in blue, as Kazanov of the Soviet Union went out of his race and straight across and obstructed Woodson. That went on just out of the camera shot here, but those two in the centre straining for the line, and I can't separate them.
Robert Emian, the leader in the long jump. Oh, that looks a good jump, well over 8 metres. He leads at 8 metres 14. And again, he equalled his lead.
Tony, just 100th of a second in it, 13.35 against 13.36. But you won. Did you really think you had one at the end? Did you know?
Well, this is probably the only race that I really thought I probably had a good chance of winning. I wasn't too sure, but I'm just happy that the race is over, and I celebrated it nonetheless. If I would have come in second tonight, I still probably would have done the celebrating. I'm just so happy that I had such a good season this year with some good wins, some big defeats, and the times have been good all along.
A good strong British representation in this field here. Graham Fell in the white vest and green shorts there, back in about 6th place. British born, now a Canadian citizen, and Mark Rowland and Eddie Wedderburn also running in what looks an excitingly quick race at this stage, Peter Matthews.
Yes, it is, and Koech has just dropped out, so he was obviously in there working hard for Korea. He wasn't chosen, very surprisingly, for the World Championships, but he's right now, and I think he's determined to show that he may well have figured in medal contention. Van Dijk, for whom the early pace was set by the Belgian Mace, is dropping right back through the pack, and it doesn't look like it's going to be his night. Bakuch in 2nd place also went out in the 5,000 in Rome, and he too wants to show what might have been. It's very fast, 6:02 with 2 laps to go.
Korea, the Olympic champion, leads then. Some way back to Bakuch of Tunisia in 2nd place. Then it's Graham Fell, the Canadian, British born, in the white vest and green shorts in 3rd. Melzer of East Germany is 4th. Then Diemer of the United States is 5th. Mark Rowland of Great Britain is 6th. Lustum, the Frenchman, 7th. Eddie Wedderburn of Great Britain is 8th. And the other American just at the back of that group. But really, they're all chasing from a long, long way back. Julius Korea, the 27-year-old Olympic champion, a man who many expected when he won that title in 1984 to go on and lead the world, but he's had an up-and-down career since, and as Peter was saying, wasn't even picked by the Kenyans to contest this event in the World Championships, where the Italian Panetta carried off the gold medal. So Korea has something to prove. and of course has fresh legs, unlike many of those behind him. And approaching the bell, the clock is going to be very important for the leader, Julius Correa.
Well, it's quick, isn't it? 7 minutes 8. It's going to be outside 8:10, I think, probably. But certainly it shows that he might have been among medal contention in Rome, because that went to 8:12 or better.
Bakushin second. Diemer of the United States has moved up as well now with Melzer of East Germany. They're second and third. Bakushin's getting slower and slower. And the Frenchman Bruno Lestum, all in white, in fourth place. Mark Rowland running very well back in fifth. And also Graham Fell slowing now with under 200 to go. That's Fell, number 57. But through the water jump for the final time is Julius Correa of Kenya. The battle for the minor place is going on behind him. He has just one barrier to go. Diemer has moved through into second. The man who took the Olympic bronze medal and just missed out on the same colour in Rome. But this man who didn't even go to Rome makes his point in some style. 8 minutes 12. Correa wins it. Diemer is second. Melzer is third. Lestum is fourth. And a fine run by Mark Rowland for fifth, ahead of Bakushu as sixth, and Van Dijk seventh with Fell in eighth.
Tremendous run there for Julius Correa. 8 minutes 12. And good also to see Mark Rowland making more progress. I timed him in 8 minutes 20.8.
A field of 9 for the women's 800 metres, and it includes Doina Valinti, who's joint leader in the overall women's Grand Prix, chasing prize money of around £20,000, and that's very big money indeed for an Eastern European athlete. They don't really enjoy many of the appearance money benefits enjoyed by those athletes in the West. ...800 metres, 2 laps of the track then. 2 British athletes in the lineup here. Nearest to the camera in the white top and green shorts is Shireen Bailey, looking to go below 2 minutes, which she did on this track last year. And all in black, running in lane 3, is Kirsty Wade, who finished 7th over 1,500 metres in the World Championships, having been disappointed not to be selected over this distance, 800 metres. Kiro of Cuba has gone into second place behind her, with Jungiatu of Romania third, Kolovic of Yugoslavia fourth, Shireen Bailey running wide to join her British colleague at the head of the field. The important thing here, as far as the Grand Prix standings are concerned, is the positioning of Doina Valinti at the end. She finished second over a mile, so if she improves on that position, which obviously means only victory in this race, then under the Grand Prix rules, the best position is the one that counts towards the standings. But I doubt that she'll be strong enough, although who knows, to come through and beat this field.
And Kirsty Wade running a different type of race here, making it fast. 28-second first 200 and a 58.67. So she's not relying on her finishing kick this time, which has been found perhaps a little wanting in Rome, although she did demonstrate it to great effect earlier in the year. But this is quick all the way and really stretching them out.
She had a fine victory on this very track a year ago. Kirsty Wade, all in black there, leading from Kiro of Cuba in second place in the red and white. Then Shireen Bailey of Great Britain is third. Kolovic of Yugoslavia is fourth. And Valinti inevitably tiring. So Kirsty Wade, she's kicked from home in several races this year from this point. She's under pressure here from the 24-year-old Cuban, who was fourth in Rome in the fine time of 1:55. She has made a 3-second improvement this year, the Cuban, and the promise she has showed all year, very, very evident again, as she takes over the leadership. Wade tiring, Kolovic and Bailey coming strong on the line. Kiro wins it, Kolovic second, Bailey took third, and Wade fourth.
Sergei Bubka, third time he's attempted 580. Oh, the bar wobbles, but it stays on, and in Bubka in danger of losing a pole vault competition in a major event. Didn't. Once again, he triumphs when it really matters, and he looks a very, very relieved man.
A very important race, this women's 100 metres for the double bronze medalist from Rome, Merli Notti, in the centre there in the pink. She has to hold off the challenge from Neneva, the Bulgarian, on her left as we watch in the red vest. Neneva is just 2 points behind Otti in the Grand Prix for 100 metres. And Otti, of course, is also joint leader in the overall women's Grand Prix. If she wins this race, it'll be a very handsome prize for her indeed. And a fine start made by Otti. Koeman, the little Dutch girl, on her inside leading her, but Otti looking strong now, and she's certainly heading Naneva, and it's been a fine run this by Otti, and she takes it nearest to the camera. Cuthbert of Jamaica got through for second, 11.08, and that will clinch not only victory in the 100 metres Grand Prix, but we make it in the overall Women's Grand Prix for the Jamaican Merlene Otti. The girl who took bronze medals over 100 and 200 metres in Rome rounds off a very successful season in fine style, Peter.
It was a magnificent run, didn't it? She's not the best of starters, but she did get to a good one, almost as good as Koeman, who is a quick starter, on her left-hand side. Naneva on her right-hand side was the main danger, but it was smoothness all the way from Merlene Otti. A favourite to win in Rome. She didn't manage that, the bronze medal, but about 2 metres clear, and Juliet Cuthbert, her fellow Jamaican, coming through to take second place.
3 3/4 laps of the track. The men's 1500 metres. Abdi Bili of Somalia, the man who took Steve Cram's World Championship crown in Rome last week, runs again, number 73. It's been touted in some quarters, this, I know, as an attempt on Said Awita's world record, but I would feel that that's extremely unlikely in view of the fact that these athletes must be so tired. Not only Rome, but several of them have been running in a couple of the meetings that have taken place since in Rieti in Italy and in Munich in West Germany. The pacemaker, Eddie Stevens of Belgium, number 88, leading them out from Omar Khalifa, the Sudanese athlete who finished 5th in Rome. Number 79 there, Jim Spivey, just caught sight of him, the man who took the surprise bronze medal in the Rome final. And also in the field, Jose Luis Gonzalez, the world silver medalist, all in yellow, now in 4th place.
Well, it's certainly taken them through quite a quick pace, 54.81. That is indeed ideal. They've got a double pacemaker up the front there. Eddie Stevens perhaps for the first lap or so. Then Khalifa obviously ready to take the third lap. And they're going to make it quick for Bili and Gonzalez.
Bili running very easily. Very smooth looking athlete. The man who has an unbelievable background, I suppose, to those of us in the West. He comes from a wandering tribe of Somalians. He's one of 13 children. Spent his formative years wandering the desert in nomad fashion. Only took to athletics when he was spotted as a useful footballer, and they yanked him out of a football match to run in his football boots, and he showed such promise that his career was determined there and then. But still, the Belgian pacemaker and Omar Khalifa doing their job to lead the new world champion over 1500 metres, Abdi Bili, through at exactly the correct pace, I would have thought, Peter.
It is indeed. 1:52.39 is very quick indeed, and one has to say it's really no night for records. Most times we've had today have been pretty slow. There's quite a lot of wind out there. It's a bit cold, but isn't this man Bili running well? And Khalifa's doing a terrific job in stretching out on this third lap, and Gonzalez has had to go way back. It's only Bili who can stay with this pace.
Rest of the field a long way back now. Hillard, the Australian, and Gonzalez, the Spaniard, are leading that particular group. But it's all about the clock and Abdi Bili, the man who Steve Cram feared so much as Rome approached. He knew he was going to be a major rival. Look at the strain on the face of Khalifa, who's no mean runner himself. And look how easy, by comparison, the Somalian is.
Well, a 54-second last lap will get the record, and Bili is really running well, and Khalifa is doing so well to try and stay in touch and push him on.
Well, this would be an incredible performance. It's far from an ideal evening. It's not still. The wind blowing the flags around this stadium. He has the fatigue, remember, of Rome and the races subsequently. It's been a beautifully paced race, and could Abdi Bili be on his way to something special? Under 200 metres to go, and the Somalian, whose age is unknown due to his upbringing, slowing inevitably, and as the clock ticks on relentlessly, that record is going to be harder and harder for him to achieve. But the crowd know he's close enough to give him their support. The clock ticking away, the world record 3:29, he's outside it, but what a fine run in any case by Abdi Bili, who wins it in 3:31 with Spivey coming through for second, and the rest of the field trailing in almost together. But Peter, we didn't really think it was on, and in the end it wasn't, but what a good shot he gave it.
Terrific effort, because it wasn't a night for records, and to run a time like that, 3:31.8 in these conditions, is absolutely magnificent. Just outside his personal best, as it turned out. But John Walker said to us in Rome that this may be the beginning of a new age, a new man here, and Abdi Bili. And certainly Steve Cram and Seb Coe have got to really look out for him next year in the Olympic Games. Tony Campbell's hurdles win over Greg Foster settled the overall Grand Prix. Behind them, Sergei Bubka's pole vault victory earned him third place, and Britain's highest scorer was Mick Hill on 49. Merlin Ottey earned $25,000 from the Women's Grand Prix. Stefka Kostadinova was second, and Doina Malinti third. And again, no Britons in the top six, with Liz Lynch highest on 46 points.
So with Tony Campbell and Merlin Ottey, the Grand Prix winners of 1987, we'll say goodbye. More great sporting memories next time on ITV Sport Classics.
Christmas is a time for friends and family to be together, but sadly for some loved ones that's not possible because they're away at sea. So we're asking them and you to join us for the biggest non-stop global Christmas party you've ever seen.
Linking up with locations from Croatia to the Caribbean, we meet the sailors of the Royal Navy as they spread peace and goodwill worldwide. To spend your Christmas with the Royal Navy, join Anthea Turner throughout Christmas Day on ITV.